Hello, and welcome to Songs for the Struggling Artist, the blogcast. This is episode 483. My name is Emily Rainbow Davis. Thank you for being here. Today's blog is about a review I wrote on Goodreads.com many years ago, and it has generated some activity since. So I could not resist writing a little thing about it. If you are not familiar with Goodreads, it is a website where people write reviews of books they read or track what they've been reading. They give books stars or not. It's like a review site. It's like a Yelp for books. And I've been on for a real long time. A friend of mine got me on, and it's kind of early days because she said she wanted to know what I was reading and she wanted to know what I thought about it. So I basically signed up for her and then just kind of kept at it because I already was there. And I've mostly forget about it now, and occasionally will go on a reviewing tear. But usually it's because I try to encourage myself to keep up with it by saying what I'm currently reading. And then 4 years later, I'll be like, oh yeah, I finished that book 4 years ago. I don't remember what I thought of it. But I think somehow if I say that I'm reading it, then I will eventually come back and, give it its appropriate number of stars. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It is not an accurate document about what I'm actually reading. And I think because my friend who got me on it, I don't think she's on anymore, or if she does, she's not seeing my particular reviews. So I'm not getting the positive reinforcement that I used to get, because it was super charming. She'd be like, Emily, you should be a professional book reviewer. Your reviews are so great, which, felt amazing. But also I was like, I don't think you make a lot of money as a professional book reviewer, and I don't think anyone's handing out those jobs. But I did appreciate the positive, reinforcement. It did keep me doing it, and I rarely do it now. Anyway, this blog is related to a review from those early days, so from 2008. And actually, the friend who got me on Goodreads was also the director of the show that I was working on at the time. So she was all wrapped up in this whole moment. So let me just read it to you after all that preamble. It is called Comments on the Heroine's Journey. Back in 2008, I wrote a review of The Heroine's Journey on Goodreads. At the time, I was developing Mythellaneous, which was a clown hero's journey. So I was very excited to read this book, which was meant to be a women's version of the famous hero's journey as described by Joseph Campebll. Unfortunately, the heroine's journey was disappointing and generally kind of facile and old-fashioned. It did not help me in the creation of that show. I was much more active on Goodreads in those days, as my friend had gotten me on because she wanted to know what I was reading. I wrote most reviews like I was writing to that friend and others like her. It used to be just my friends, my mom, and the occasional stranger that encountered my takes on that platform. Over the years, I have noticed likes coming through for this review more than any other book on my list. What I didn't see was that this review had generated quite a few comments over the years and was the first review on the page for the book. Today, I discovered a fairly extensive pylon of defenders of this book on my review. The last comment asked me if I liked Joseph Campbell's hero's journey. And my responding brain started worrying. Do I like Campbell's hero's journey? Do I like the hero's journey? There is no way I can answer that question in a comment. The answer to that question is a blog post. I mean, that's the thing about social media, isn't it? It's that it has no social context. No one responding to my little review on Goodreads knows anything about me. They don't know about Mythellaneous. They don't know my theater company is driven by myth. They don't know I've been swimming in mythology since my youth. They don't know I went to Sarah Lawrence College, where Joseph Campbell taught for many years before I arrived. To them, I'm just some chick who didn't like a book on Goodreads, and they're responding to me rather than the many other people who gave it 1 star because I was the first to review this thing back in the beginning of the platform. Do I like the hero's journey? No. Yes. It doesn't matter. And it actually doesn't matter whether anyone else likes it either. It's not about liking. The hero's journey, also known as the monomyth, is an idea that runs through our culture like a stream, providing a source for all kinds of ideas, media, stories, structures. To like or not like a stream would be absurd. When you encounter a stream, you can drink from it or ignore it, but it's not there for our opinions. We can have a relationship with it. We can engage with it or walk away from it, but it doesn't matter if we like it. As it happens, I have read a lot of Joseph Campbell. I'm a myth nerd. There's no avoiding it. He's not a particularly engaging writer. The Hero with 1,000 Faces is the book that talks about the hero's journey. He didn't actually write one called The Hero's Journey, though you can buy one, which is inspired by the TV show about it. The Hero with 1,000 Faces is a real slog. It's not Campbell's writing that made his ideas run through the culture like a stream. It's the scholarship, in fact, as well as the TV series. He spent a long time in a cabin reading as many myths of the world as he could find and distilled a communality in them into the idea of the hero's journey. It's an academic insight. I don't have an opinion about that. It's just what he saw there. I cannot argue with that. I would not argue with it. But I would make a show about it. I would have a conversation with the structure and prod it and poke at it and wonder about it. Fundamentally, Campbell distilled all the patriarchal stories of the world and identified the narrative structure. Do I like it? I find it useful. But also, I'm very interested in finding entirely new narratives, so I also think it can go fuck itself. But that doesn't mean I don't like it. I think it's important. I'm glad to have spent all the time I did unpacking it and exploring it, and I'm looking for alternatives. The heroine's journey is not the alternative for me, but if it works for all those commenters, good for them. The difference, though, between Joseph Campbell's monomyth and Maureen Murdoch's heroine's journey is that Campbell's monomyth is based on a multitude of stories from around the world throughout time, and Murdoch's heroine's journey is based on some dreams she had and her personal experiences, which is nice. It is a heroine's journey, not the heroine's journey. It's hella not mine. This whole experience makes me think of this trend in the culture that makes me very uncomfortable. This kind of binary way of looking at things. Do you like it or not? Opinions are the only currency in this moment, it feels like. And while I do have a lot of opinions, they are much more complicated than whether I like or don't like something. I mean, let's take Shakespeare. I have spent a lot of my life dedicated to acting his work, speaking his lines, teaching his plays, teaching how to teach his plays. I have a long life in Shakespeare. But I don't like everything. Sometimes I'm up against it in ways that make me very uncomfortable. I get mad at him. I wish he'd done some things differently. I wish theater would let him go a little to give some space for others. It's a relationship, and it's not a pure liking or disliking. It is much more complicated. I feel it's important to wrestle with his work whether or not I like it. The same is true for Joseph Campbell, who had some weirdo ideas about women despite working at a women's college for much of his life. I'm not sure why this particular review got under so many people's skins. My guess is that they read the heroine's journey as a self-help book, and it helped them. So they liked it, for which I cannot fault them and would, in fact, not deny them. I'm glad they found that book illuminating and that it made a difference in their lives. But I read it as a work of scholarship within the context of a lot of other texts, both in mythology and women's studies. In that context, it's pretty thin. It is neither a serious mythological text nor an insightful feminist narrative. I started to wonder if my 1-star review from 2008 maybe had an impact on this book's popularity. Clearly, the algorithm has heavily weighted my review, likely due to the comments on it, and maybe that engagement put this book in front of more readers. There was apparently a reissue of this book around 5 years ago. Did my snarky review from 2008 generate interest, which led to a new edition? I doubt it, but I wouldn't rule it out. These platforms thrive on conflict, and publishers follow trends these days. Maybe it's a butterfly effect where I flapped my wings of discontent and the result was a resurgence of this book. This book is possibly having a moment. I discovered all these comments on my review because a friend sent me a video a woman had made about her experience of the book. Thank you to that friend. I watched the video and went to go find my old review to refresh my memory, and that's how I saw the comments. I can't say I liked those comments. There's some weirdness in there, some right-wing talking points even. But I did feel it was important to grapple with what I found there, since somehow Goodreads' algorithm set me up to be a target. Given that all these people felt the need to comment on my review and no one else's, I have to wonder what they're getting out of their commenting. Do they like it? Which stage in the heroine's journey is making weird comments on other people's opinions? I haven't read this book since 2008, so I couldn't tell you. But I can tell you that there's no stage like that in the hero's journey, and whether or not I like it is beside the point. I've gotten 2 additional likes on this particular review since I saw the comments. I haven't been back to look at the comments. For whatever reason, my account is not set up. It's set up to tell me when people like things, but it's not set up to tell me when I have comments, which I'm not displeased about. I think I'll leave it as is because I don't need that kind of negativity in my day, in any day. It's I also think Goodreads used to be a place where friends used to share each other books with each other, and now it's turned into every other social media where there's an algorithm and people get all involved with strangers in a way that they did not. It used to be you could make friends. I had a couple of people that I sort of traded likes with. And I feel like I haven't heard from any of those people in years. It's the devolution. Well, maybe it's the enshittification of everything that was once somewhat cool. Anyway, this book is having a moment, I guess. I did notice when I kind of scrolled through the other reviews to see, am I the only one who's going through this? And no, everyone else who gave it 1 star had no comments on their thing whatsoever. But I did notice that there were a lot of reviews in Arabic. So it must somehow have, I don't know, had a translation maybe, which, I mean, that's interesting. I would love to be able to read what those reviews say. It's fascinating. So, right. So what song do I have for you? Well, guess what? There's not a lot of songs about heroines. Just like there's not a story about a good book about the heroine's journey, because most of literature has not been concerned with women's experience. However, I did think of one immediately, and it's an Ani DeFranco song called "I'm No Heroine." And it was lovely to revisit it and spend some time with it. It does make me cry. I did not cry while singing it for you, but it is kind of poignant here in 2026 to listen to this song that I listened to when I was in high school, I want to say. Wait, no, this was on Out of Range, I think. So I think I must have been in college by the time this song came out. In any case, the world has surely improved in some ways, but anyway, I feel like I can't, I'm working on a thesis or a thought or an idea or a struggle or something on this topic that is related to this song and the current moment, and I have not yet found what it is, but it's a long road, it feels like. Anyway, I'm going to play that song for you in just a minute. Meanwhile, thank you so much for listening. If you like this podcast, please tell someone about it, review, subscribe, all the things you can do for a podcast, you can do for this one too. And if you'd like to support it with money, I mean, that would be pretty great and very helpful. Patreon.com/Emily R. Davis is the hotspot, but there's also Ko-fi, there's PayPal. You could join Substack as a paid subscriber if you'd like. And if you are on a artist supporting platform that you prefer to support artists on, let me know what it is. I'll get on it. And mostly, I thank you for your ears, for listening, for being here, for being a part of this moment with me. So I'm going to play for you now "I'm No Heroine" by Ani DeFranco. It was harder to work out what the chords were than I expected, because Chordify, which is a site sometimes I use to find a song that doesn't have them written out anywhere, it was totally wrong. So this is my best guess. And I played it on my electric, which I haven't played in a long time. So here's my electric guitar, Miss Charlotte Bronte, and me singing "I'm No Heroine." You think I wouldn't have him unless I could have him by the balls. You think I just dish it out. You think I don't take it at all. You think I'm stronger. You think I walk taller than the rest. You think I'm usually wearing the pants just 'cause I rarely wear a dress. When you look at me, you see my purpose, you see my pride. You think I just saddle up my anger and ride and ride and ride. You think I stand so firm, you think I sit so high on my trusty steed. Let me tell you, I'm usually face down on the ground when there's a stampede. Yeah, I'm no heroine, at least not last time I checked. I'm too easy to roll over, I'm too easy to wreck. I just write about what I should have done, I just sing what I wish I could say. And I hope somewhere some woman hears my music and it helps her through her day. Some guy designed these shoes I use to walk around. Some big man's business turns a profit every time I lay my money down. Some guy designed the room I'm standing in. Another built it with his own tools. Who says I like right angles? These are not my laws. These are not my rules. I'm no heroine. I still answer to the other half of the race. I don't fool myself like I fool you. I don't have the power. We just don't run this place. I don't have the power. We just don't run this place. We don't run